going to look at one of them because there's a very interesting story behind it. Sesostris III was part of the 12th dynasty of Egypt, and he was able to do something that the pharaohs before him were not able to do. In those times in Egypt, all of the land and all the power rested in the nobility, or the local princes, kind of like in the Middle Ages where they had the lords and the knights and the feudal system and things like that. Well, these nobility were called nomarchs, and they owned all the land and had all the power, making the pharaoh very weak. But this man right here, Egyptian archaeology tells us that was able to break the power of the nomarchs. How was he able to do it? Egyptian archaeology doesn't tell us, but the book of Genesis in the Bible does. It says that there was a man named Joseph who was from Israel, and he came and he was sold as a slave into Egypt, and after being unjustly thrown into prison, spent some time there. Well, Sesostris III had a dream one night that troubled him, and he wanted to know the interpretation of his dream. And so he called his men together. No one could interpret it. Finally, he found Joseph and asked him to interpret the dream. Joseph was able to. He said, "This is what the dream means. There will be 7 years of plenty. You'll have 7 great years of harvest, but after that you will have 7 years of famine." And so Pharaoh Sesostris III looked and says, "This is a great interpretation. I want you to be second in command of my empire of Egypt so you can help us prepare for this famine." And so Joseph becomes second in command, and during the 7 years of plenty, they're storing up grain, and they're getting all ready for it. When the famine comes, everyone's out of food, right? So then they go and they need food, and so they start buying grain from Pharaoh, and buying grain from Pharaoh until all their money is used up, until finally they have to sell their land to Pharaoh in order to receive grain. And that is how Sesostris III was able to break the power of the nomarchs in Egypt and set up a strong 12th dynasty.
Even the nomarchs. Oh.
All right, so this is the first attraction.
Cool.
We're going to head around the corner to the Lachish relief, some of the best